Military veterans face different challenges during their transition back to civilian life, but the one thing they all share is the need to find a new career and a new sense of purpose. Hi, I'm your host, Montel Williams, and today on Military Makeover Operation Career, we've got 4 inspirational stories of veterans who found gainful employment after leaving the military. In our first story, we're going to meet substitute teacher Ricardo Benitez. He was looking for gainful employment, but wasn't really sure what he could do with the leadership skills that he acquired in the military. A recruiter and fellow veteran suggested, hey, my friend, what about a career in the educational sector?
As a leader in the field of workforce solutions with a specialty education practice, the folks at Kelly Services realize that there's a tremendous need for substitute teachers, paraprofessionals, teachers' aides, and non-instructional personnel. And there's no greater supplier of qualified individuals familiar with dedication, service, and leadership than the heroic men and women who've served in the United States Armed Forces. That's why companies like Kelly have made it their mission to help veterans transition from military service into the field of education.
I'm Adam Watkins. I'm the Territory Vice President for Kelly Services here in Tampa, Florida. I decided to join the military while I was in school. I was in college and looking for what's next. And when I did that, I started realizing this wasn't the path I wanted. I needed something different. I was looking for a trade, so I decided to join the Air Force. I worked for the civil engineering group. I went in to be an electrician because I wanted to build houses. Thought the best way to do that is to learn a trade and have a practice so I can always fall back on. Life changes, life happens. I went a different path. A friend of mine came to me with an opportunity to come work with him at a staffing agency. He felt that I had the aptitude to do that, had that ability to talk the talk as a recruiter. Kelly Services is a global staffing provider. Most people don't know is that we're the leading provider for educational staffing in the United States. So we support not only substitute teachers, but also paraprofessionals, teachers' aides, and administrative support. Kelly is a strong supporter of recruiting and hiring veterans. I always look for veterans to come in to work for us because I know they're bringing the right attitude and effort. And they bring a sense of loyalty, dedication that sometimes you don't find elsewhere. Ricardo's a veteran who came to Kelly looking for a way to supplement his income. His military background and experience made him an ideal candidate for substitute teaching. And after only a few days on assignment, Ricardo was asked to come back and be the building sub for the rest of the year. He is a mentor to students and is loved by all.
My name is Ricardo Benitez. I'm a substitute teacher with Kelly Services here in Florida. Well, I joined the military. I was part of the delayed entry program out of high school. The reason I did was I was about to have a baby. So I knew that the only way that I could take care of my baby was by joining the military. I was part of the Special Operations Response Team stationed in Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. I received an honorable discharge from the Army to pursue my passion, which is coaching basketball. I had just got home from coaching a tour in China, and my wife said to me, you know, these people right down the street here are hiring, and they're hiring teachers, and that's something that you like to do.
I'm CHERI BOLLINGER. I'm the proud principal at Shore Elementary Magnet. When subs come on our campus, it is very important to me that they care about students. They have to care, find a connection with them, and challenge them each and every day. Kelly Services is a staffing agency our district uses to supply us with subs, and they have been such a wonderful asset to us. Mr. Benitez came to us through Kelly Services as a 4th grade sub earlier in our school year. And when he walked in the door, he is just so charismatic. He just walks in and you're like, oh my goodness, you are so awesome. Ricardo, as a veteran, actually brings a lot of experiences to the table, and one of my favorites is that he's very dedicated, he's compassionate, he's very structured, and he gives that structure to the kids so they can be successful in what they do.
Kelly Services, I think, does a tremendous job helping veterans. I can tell you this, if you want to work, you will always have a job.
So why should veterans or military spouses come to Kelly Services? We're the perfect partner to help them in their transition from military life to civilian roles. Coming out of the service, a lot of people are looking for that next step. And what does that mean? Where do I go from here? I found, and most of us have found in talking with them, is I always wanted to be a teacher or a coach or something to give back. Many find it to be a better way to work and live, and we support that. And it's a great way for them to build a next career.
Our next story highlights one company that's not only dedicated to improving the lives of people around the world, but the lives of their employees as well. Terex Corporation, a global manufacturer of lifting and material processing products, is actively recruiting veterans who are looking to build on the knowledge that they gained in the military. You're not going to want to miss this.
I grew up in a very small town, so we didn't have that big of an opportunity to get jobs. I come from a military family. My grandfather, who I was very close to and sort of mentored me, he was in World War II and through Vietnam, and that helped persuade me to go into the military to help protect our country. When I got out, I didn't even think about my military training. I tried to become an automotive mechanic. That did not go well. So I finally fell back onto my military training, and I got a job with Terex, doing what I knew to do. I have been with Terex for 25 years. I am a road service tech, and I love my job.
Determination, strength, discipline. Those are the things that we look for when we're bringing new talent to the company. The Terex Corporation has a strong outreach program to our veterans. We understand that they take strong pride in the work that they do. They bring strong skill and capabilities and training that they received while they were in the military. Terex Corporation is a global, diversified manufacturer of material, processing, and lifting equipment, products, and solutions. We operate service facilities across the country. We service the products that Terex manufactures. It could be utility trucks, genie lifts, advanced mixer trucks, material processing equipment, or cranes. The general process is when a piece of equipment comes into the organization, is it arrives, we're notified by the customer, it shows up at one of our facilities, we do a diagnostic review of the equipment, assess what it is that needs to be done, communicate back with the customer the repairs that need to be made. It's all about improving the uptime of that equipment. There's always speed and urgency and efficiency at the forefront of everything that we do, always remembering that piece of equipment is what is generating income for the customer and what is keeping either the electricity flowing or building and construction continuing to move. That's what we do differently and do better.
In the Air Force, I was an aerospace ground equipment mechanic. Basically, we worked on all the generators, we worked on the air conditioners, everything that could allow a plane to fly, that's what I worked on. So all of that really translated real easily into the Terex life, and I do consider Terex to be my life.
Having the opportunity to wear the uniform, it carries its own pride that you're actually serving the country, not just serving yourself.
My 15-year-old actually would like to join the military, and I'm 100% for it. I think it would give him the stability that he needs, the discipline that he needs.
When I was much younger, I was looking for opportunity, I was looking for structure, I was looking for a little more discipline in my life, and I was able to find that in the Marine Corps. I also found that I was able to actually develop skills that I had that I could apply later in life.
I joined the Army to give me some sort of direction in life. I was turning wrenches since I was a kid. An opportunity arose to turn wrenches in the military, and it was a good opportunity to learn more.
It just gives you more of a drive, more motivation, because you want to be the best at what you do. And the military is what caused that in me.
Military's been great. It's guided me through a lot. It's set me up for everything I'm doing today.
If you're a veteran, contact us, let us know what your interests are, and we potentially may have a position for you that allow you to follow the same path that I and so many others have followed within the Terex organization.
With Terex, they do honor what you do. They have great respect for the military personnel. It's a great place to work.
A leader in everyday apparel for over 100 years is unparalleled in their commitment to help veterans transitioning from the military to civilian life. HanesBrands values the diversity of its workforce and makes a concerted effort to recruit veterans and reservists into their family of brands.
I was initially drawn to the military from a pretty young age. I come from a long tradition of military service in my family. My father served in the Army, my grandfather served in the Navy, and I have some other family members who also served. So I always felt like it was in my DNA, really, from a pretty young age. And as I grew up, I just continued to become more interested and fascinated with the idea of service and giving back and doing what I saw was my part to defend and protect the nation that I've come to love over time. I really was conflicted because I love the military. I got so much out of the experience. I really grew to love the people I served with. I gave a lot of myself too, but I also just had this interest in seeing what else the world had to offer. And so when I started thinking about what could my career look like outside the military, at the end of the day, I just realized there was a lot more the world had in store, and I was just curious to see what that was.
HanesBrands is a global Fortune 500 company. We are in 43 countries. We are 70,000 employees strong. Some of the brands you may recognize are, of course, Hanes, the iconic brand itself, Bally, Playtex, Maidenform, Just My Size. Champion, though, who just celebrated their 100-year anniversary, is one of our best-known brands as well. What my role and responsibility is to continue to look for ways that we can engage and recruit new talent for the company. We have been very successful at recruiting veterans. They bring a lot of those core competencies that we value.
You know, I think the veterans bring a lot to the business because of their military background. They're so diverse. You know, they're very flexible and they're very loyal.
Yeah, I was able to really carry over a lot of what I learned in the military, you know, dedication, wanting to get in there, wanting to exceed expectations. In the Army, we did a lot of training. You would train day to day for something that you may only do once a month, but you had a lot of things that would pop up that were unexpected. You had to really learn how to adapt quickly.
I think one of the highlights of my military career was the opportunity to go through the jungle warfare training course in Okinawa, Japan. And all of a sudden I found myself with a squad of Marines in this subtropical rainforest trying to figure out how to survive in different scenarios. All sorts of challenges that are just so encompassing of the military ethos of everything that we do.
So we're always wanting to increase the number of veterans that we have currently. We have an affinity veteran networking group here that we really leverage. We put them in touch with future potential candidates.
So I was approached by a recruiter, and I've heard a lot about HanesBrands as a company. Of course, I grew up with Hanes. So I was really excited to come down for an interview. When
I was talking with folks at HanesBrands within my initial interview, they really spoke to that opportunity within the company. They wanted people to develop in that way as leaders, and the only way a brand can grow over time is if it's built on a really strong core, a really strong foundation. Finding a company that really believes so firmly in a set of core values in the same way was something that was really important to me.
When I first got out, I was really worried, was I going to get bored? Was I going to be challenged? Come to find out, you know, HanesBrands really challenged me. They give me great opportunities and put me in a lot of good positions to grow with the company.
You don't have to have an apparel background to join an apparel company. So Hanes has really given me an opportunity to open doors for me, and I just know the sky's the limit. You will find out that we are a veteran-friendly family company. And you would enjoy working here.
We can teach you marketing, we can teach you information technology, we can teach you a lot about the position that we're hiring you for, but what we can't teach is the skills that you've already learned and have been developed by the military. That's what we're looking for.
So if you're looking and you're getting ready to get out of the service, this is definitely a company that I think you should check out and come to look to work for.
This next company uses innovative technologies and services to enable individuals to work smarter. The folks at Ricoh know that talented sales, service, and support professionals are a valued resource, and there's no better supplier for qualified candidates than the United States military.
A leader in digital workplace solutions, using innovative technologies and services, enabling individuals to work smarter, is looking for some new recruits. Primarily known for their innovative printers, Ricoh also focuses on optimizing the flow of information to help customers improve productivity. And there's no better supply of tech-savvy candidates than the U.S. Armed Forces. That's why companies like Ricoh have made it their mission to help veterans transition from the military back to civilian life.
I'm the Vice President of Supply Chain for Ricoh in the United States. In Ricoh, we have the responsibility for transporting the product, light assembly, and program it to our customers' needs, and then we deliver and install the devices at the customer location. My military career began in 1984 when I graduated West Point, stationed permanently at Fort Bragg and as a CH-47 pilot. So I was in the military for 5.5 years. At that time, I just had my third child, so I decided to make a change in my career and work in the civilian arena. A lot of what you learn in the military is transferable in society, and coming out of the military, I went into a manufacturing environment, and the discipline and process that we learned as part of a flight crew was very helpful in making that transition to a manufacturing job.
I joined the Army National Guard when I went off to school at Virginia State. My time in the military helped me with my career at Ricoh by adapting to change easily, being loyal and disciplined, paying attention to detail, and fulfilling my job duties to the best of my abilities. I was in the National Guards for 4 years. I did a 4x4 contract. I received an honorable discharge in 2008 due to me being injured during training. I created a profile on the Ricoh website. A recruiter gave me a call to interview for a position. I came in as a customer service representative, and then I moved on and became a lead. We have customers that call in that have issues with their copiers and printers. We will provide over-the-phone support or create service calls for them to send a technician out to assist them.
Not all Ricoh employees work at Ricoh locations. Some, like Andy Janovics, work full-time on-site for some of Ricoh's bigger clients.
I work on their multi-function devices, their plotters, their network printers, and I also help manage their streamlined server. I wasn't happy with my life. I was making pizzas, so I decided to join the Marine Corps. I did 4 years active duty, did 2 deployments with them. After that, I joined the reserves, and I'm still currently serving in the reserves. I've been in a total of 25 years. Now I am a Marine for Life representative for the state of Indiana. I help transitioning Marines and families find better opportunities, such as employment, resources, education, entrepreneurship. Companies like Ricoh should hire veterans, young men and women that come out of the military. They're given a project or a task without even asking questions. They know how to get the job done.
Ricoh's focus on optimizing the flow of information has led to some innovative technology.
I think a lot of people know Ricoh for our copiers and printers, but our business is so much more than that.
The cool things that we're excited about is this Ricoh Smart Hands technology. So this technician's in the field here. Actually, those are my hands right there. So I can reach in and say, open up that part of the machine right there for me. And I can actually draw and I can telestrate. The technician's no longer alone in the field. I can actually say, I want you to pull that part out right there. I can actually do a 3-way call. I can even stop in the middle of it and take a snapshot. The possibilities are limitless.
We've seen a steady decline in customers calling in for tech support. They've now moved to the internet. We found a way to intercept those calls, to resolve those issues by calling outbound to the customer. If we reach 100 calls in the day, we have our leader for the day ring the gong. Hit it, Chris.
Ricoh not only likes to hire vets, they like to celebrate them as well.
So today we're celebrating our 5th anniversary of the Ricoh Run for Heroes, which is a national event that we have in Ricoh that raises money for our veteran community. So about 5 years ago, we were looking for opportunities to engage all of Ricoh US, and we wanted to do something that would benefit our veteran community. So we came up with the idea of a run, raising money for our veteran community. And 5 years later, we've raised about $100,000. We've supported about 12 different veteran organizations, and every year it continues to grow.
For more information about Ricoh, please check out their website at ricoh-usa.com.
Transitioning from military service to the civilian workforce can be challenging, but it's nice to know that there are so many companies out there that are actively looking to hire veterans. These companies recognize that veterans have a lot to offer because they're goal-oriented, they're disciplined, and they bring great life experience to the table. I'm Montel Williams. I'd like to thank you for joining us on this episode of Military Makeover Operation Career. See you next time.